The biggest problem you can have is selling something that people just don't want. You could be selling a $5 Louis Vuitton umbrella, but if you're selling it to someone who lives in the desert, they're still not going to buy. And the same exact concept applies in business, which is actually why it's more important now than ever to sell something that people want and create offers so good that people kind of just feel stupid saying no to. So, how do we create offers that are so good that people just feel stupid saying no? And in today's video, we'll be talking about the psychology behind why people buy and why they feel the urge to buy new things, whether that's your product, your service, or anything else that you want to sell. So jumping right into it, why is having a strong offer, why is that important? So the most successful business owners all have a clear type of person that they're selling the product or service to. They have a very clear type of person who they want to work with, promising a clear outcome with a very specific way of achieving this. If you look online, you will not find a single business owner who is making a ton of money where you struggle to find and understand the offer. If you just think of anyone, whether that is someone on YouTube or someone on Google or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, if you go onto the website, it'll be extremely clear within the first 5 to 10 seconds who exactly it is that they're selling to. You will understand it very clearly, right? And the worst thing that can happen is when you try to sell your service is you confuse your buyer, because there's actually a saying, and that is that a confused mind doesn't buy. Someone who's confused simply will just choose not to buy at all, right? So therefore, having a strong offer will not only explain what it is that your buyer is actually buying, but it will also explain how you will get this specific result. So kind of a little bit of an advanced tip. If you're currently pitching your product or service over a cold email or over a DM or over a phone, whatever the case is, and people just aren't that interested in what you're saying, the highest leverage thing you can focus on is tweaking your offer. So a lot of people think if they're sending a lot of cold emails out and they're just not getting that much replies, most people just automatically think that it is the cold email copy that sucks. And while that might be true, the number one thing that people could change that will get the best results, the most leverage thing they could change, is changing your offer. Try changing the positioning of what it is that you're selling before you change the copy, before you do anything else. Make it more valuable, make it the outcome more clear, change the outcome, change the timelines, change the unique mechanism, etc. We'll be covering all of these things today and what exactly that means. So what exactly is an ultimate outcome? So when you sell your service, anytime you make a claim, talk about a feature, or anytime you talk about a benefit, what you need to do is you need to tie that to a specific outcome. You need to explain what that outcome leads to. Remember, people buy results, not features. No one cares about the features. People are buying a specific result. So as an example, let's say you are a personal trainer and you're trying to sell gym memberships to regular everyday people. Understand that people don't just go to the gym for the sake of going to the gym. And in fact, 99% of people, myself included, actually don't enjoy exercising. People don't like to exercise because it's hard work. So what you want to think about is the outcome as to why people would still exercise. People hate exercising, but people still do it. And the reason why is because there's a very specific outcome, very specific reason why they do that. So what are those reasons? Maybe it's because they want to exercise to become healthier, meaning they live longer. Maybe it's to look better or become more attractive physically so that they're able to attract their dream partners. Or maybe people exercise to just simply feel better about themselves, build up their self-image, meaning they're just more confident in their day-to-day interactions with different people and in different situations. These are all specific outcomes as to what people are looking for when they sign up for the gym membership. People aren't paying for a gym membership because they care about dumbbells, because they care about bench presses, because they care about the specific exercises or running on the treadmill. What people are buying are these specific outcomes. So if I was a personal trainer who was helping people lose weight, what my offer might be is I might sell my service and tell people we help people who are looking to lose 10 pounds in the next 90 days by helping them train at the gym, meaning they become healthier and statistically helping them live longer. So do you see how I'm tying a specific result to the specific service that I am selling? That's exactly what you want to do whenever you are selling your own offer, whether it's your own product or your own service. So something along those lines. So that's exactly what you need to be doing when you craft your offer for your service. So what that means is for your own service, you need to think about the different outcomes as to why business owners buy, especially if you're selling your service to other businesses, if you're selling B2B. If you're selling cold email lead generation as a service, what are the outcomes that business owners want? Is it more sales calls? Is it more clients? Is it more revenue? Is it helping people make more money? These might be the three primary outcomes as to why business owners buy cold email lead generation. But obviously, there are a bunch of alternative outcomes as to why business owners will buy any service. So alongside the typical outcomes that people just think about, aside from just making more money or getting a specific result, which is kind of a given, business owners might pay money to a service provider so that they can save time. They're buying back the time so that, let's say, they don't have to send cold emails themselves, or they're buying back the time so they don't have to learn how to set up the cold email infrastructure themselves. Or maybe they just simply want to work with an expert because they don't want to deal with the consequences of spending all of this time and all of this money, and it simply doesn't work. They'd rather just invest $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to work with an expert, meaning all of this stuff, their infrastructure, the systems, will literally just work from the get-go. These are alternative reasons as to why people will buy a service. So you need to think about all of these reasons, the primary reasons and the secondary reasons, and combine the two. So on top of this, you also want to be very specific in terms of the outcome. So you need to make sure you're quantifying your outcomes. So rather than saying, we will help you get more sales calls, you want to give a specific number. We will get you 5 to 10 sales calls. Rather than saying, we help you get more clients, you can say, we help you sign 3 clients. Rather than saying, we help you make more money, you can say, we add $300,000 to your sales pipeline. So do you see how I'm quantifying the specific outcome? I'm not just saying, we will do more, we'll help you make more money. What does that mean? We're putting a specific number, we're quantifying it so people can imagine and see exactly what they can expect by working with your service. So kind of as a recap, if you're selling cold email lead generation, as an example, this is what you should not do. You should not approach a business owner and just simply say, hey John, we will help you send cold emails. What you should say instead is you can say, hey John, we can help you generate 5 to 10 sales calls every month by using cold emails. So do you see how the second example is just way more specific? I'm quantifying things. Another good way to think about your outcome that you might be selling, that you might be solving, is using the following formula. We help industry achieve outcome by doing service. That is the framework, and we'll obviously be expanding it in this video as well. So moving on to timelines. So now that we have defined the specific outcome your service provides, it's also important to quantify in what timelines. Because are we generating 5 sales calls for a marketing agency within 7 days, within 30 days, or within 90 days? And the specific timeline that you choose, that you call out, will make a massive difference. It completely changes what you are saying and what you are selling, especially with the timelines, right? So your goal as a business owner is to take your clients from the starting point to the promised outcome with the least amount of effort, time, and possible, right? With the least amount of work or time possible. That's what you need to be doing. So of course, you have to view this through the lens of what is possible given your current resources, your current abilities, and you never want to promise unrealistic results with an unrealistic timeline. You don't want to just go up to a random person, a random business owner, and say, hey, we promise to make you $1 million within the next 2 weeks, because obviously that is not possible. It's unrealistic. And if you do promise that, people actually won't even believe you because it's just too good of an outcome to be believable, right? It's just too extreme. So you need to make sure that you're promising an outcome which is actually realistic given your resources and your abilities. So kind of as a quick note, this is exactly why you need to be researching your niche. The specific result that you promise and the specific timeline that you promise, it will vary from niche to niche. It's not going to be the same. The specific result and timeline that you pitch to marketing agencies will not be the same result and the same timeline that you promise to recruitment agencies. So as you are researching your niche, you need to figure out what is a realistic result and in what timeline for your specific niche or your specific industry that you are selling to. So again, right, as another example, if you're promising marketing agencies 5 sales calls every single month, we need to call that out in our offer. So you can say something like, we help marketing agencies generate 5 sales calls every single month. So notice how we're very specific in terms of who, what and how. That's exactly what you want to do. So kind of a little bit of an advanced strategy. So if the service that you are selling has multiple layers of outcomes, you could use different timelines for each specific outcome. So as an example, the highest level of layer, so layer 1, you can say, we help marketing agencies generate 5 sales calls every 30 days. So every single month, you're helping them generate 5 sales calls. If you look a layer down, so layer 2, you say we help marketing agencies sign 4 new clients in the next 60 days. And the way we were able to come up with that is, let's say the marketing agency closes 2 clients for every 5 sales calls to take. They have a 40% closing rate. That means if we look back at layer 1, for every 5 sales calls that you generate for your marketing agency client, they're closing 2 new clients. Meaning, if you double that across 2 months, in theory, they should be closing 4 new clients. They have 4 new clients, and you want to talk about that. So you're still talking about a similar outcome, but you're talking about a different outcome, if that makes sense. So now layer 3 is we help marketing agencies add an extra $60,000 in revenue within 90 days. So again, we're talking about the same outcome, because if you think about it, let's assume that marketing agency, every single client they close, they make $10,000. Now, if they close 2 clients a month from the 5 sales calls you generate, they're making $20,000 per month. 2 months is $40,000 a month, and 3 months, so 90 days, that's $60,000 in additional revenue. And now we're talking about a specific revenue. So do you see how we're taking the same offer, the same outcome, and we're looking and digging down through the layers, and we're talking about all of these different things? And that's exactly what you want to do. And obviously, if you're sending cold emails, you want to be split testing it across all 3 of these layers, because each person that you talk to, each person that you reach out to, each person that you pitch will have different priorities, and some might care more about sales calls, others might care more about new clients, while others might care more about additional revenue or how much money that you're helping them make. So the next aspect is the unique mechanism. So the unique mechanism is the how of your service. So previously, we discussed the outcome of your service, but how exactly do we achieve that? So how are we helping marketing agencies generate 5 to 10 sales calls? What is the specific way that we're undertaking the marketing agency to get this specific result? So depending on who you sell your service to, this will also dictate how direct or indirect you want to be with your unique mechanism. So I put together this little diagram, right? So on the left side is something I called an unsophisticated niche. And on the right side is something called highly sophisticated niches, right? And obviously the more unsophisticated your niche is, the more direct you're able to be with your unique mechanism, while the more sophisticated your market is, the more indirect you need to be. So the way you determine this is, if your niche doesn't get reached out to a lot, because you're obviously doing the research into your niche and you come to a conclusion that the people that you're selling your service to, they don't get pitched a lot, there's not a lot of other competitors, you're able to be more direct, right? If they just don't get pitched a lot, they don't get reached out to a lot with similar services, and maybe they haven't tried similar service in the past, you could be very direct with your unique mechanism. On the other hand, if in your research you realize that the market that you're selling to, they get pitched 5 times a day, they probably tried other things that are similar to your services, that's a very sophisticated niche, and you need to be very indirect with your unique mechanism. So again, as an example, if you're selling cold emails to a restaurant, and again, I don't recommend you sell to restaurants because that's B2C, but for the purposes of this example, it's really just to explain what this is. So if you're selling cold emails to restaurants, because restaurants aren't likely to have tried cold emails previously, they might not even know what cold emails is, they are very unsophisticated. And because they're not cold email often, you can be really direct with your unique mechanism. So as an example, restaurants would be a terrible niche since it's B2C, but you could literally say something like, we help restaurants find new customers by using cold emails. So we're very direct in terms of how we're doing it. We're specifically saying, we will help you do this result using cold emails. So we're very direct because restaurants is very unsophisticated and they just don't get pitched a lot. Now, on the other side, if your niche gets pitched a lot and have tried similar services in the past, you need to be indirect or this will not work. So let's say you're selling cold emails to marketing agencies who get pitched 5 to 10 times a day and have likely tried cold email lead generation previously. You need to be indirect. So you say something like, we help marketing agencies generate 5 sales calls by using our outbound prospecting funnel. So do you see the difference where to restaurants, we're saying we're doing this with cold emails versus what marketing agencies were saying by using our outbound prospecting funnel? So they're very different in terms of how you want to be talking about your unique mechanism. For marketing agents, we're very indirect. So essentially, if you're going with the indirect route, you need to be giving a name to your service. And the reason why this works for sophisticated niches is because if the marketing agency has previously tried cold emails before, and let's just say whoever they work with just kind of sucked and never got them results, or maybe they tried cold emails themselves, and because they didn't understand what was going on, it just never worked. The second someone reads your offer and you tell them that you do cold emails, their automatic thought inside of the brain before they think about it logically is, oh, well, I tried that half a year ago and it just didn't work, so therefore this won't work either. Because they're associating your service with something that they've tried in the past and just never got good results for. So being indirect also creates a sense of curiosity in terms of what it is that you're selling and what it is that you're offering, which will literally help you stand out, especially if your niche gets pitched similar services very, very frequently. So as a word of caution, come up with a name for your system that is somewhat relevant to your service. So if you go too over the top or you give a name that is just not really that relevant to what it is that you're selling, it will literally come off as BS, and business owners will just not be interested at all because they'll know you're selling something that is BS, right? So for cold emails, as an example, don't use these titles, but just as an example, if you're selling cold emails, you can say outbound prospecting funnel. For paid ads, you can say paid social funnel. For video editing, if you're selling that as a service, you can say social content flywheel. So this is what we now have in our offer, right? It looks like I forgot it, but you'd say something, we help marketing agencies sign 5 to 10 new clients in the next 30 days by leveraging our outbound prospecting funnel. So that's exactly what we're saying. Now the next part is the guarantees and the risk reversal. So this is what is known as a risk reversal, because there is a linear relationship between the amount of evidence and the amount of proof that your service works and the guarantee that you provide. And if you're starting out, you're starting your business, you're starting your lead generation agency, and you do not have case studies and you do not have testimonials, you need to be using a guarantee. And if you don't use a guarantee and you send a lot of cold emails and you talk to a lot of people and you just don't make money, don't say I didn't tell you otherwise, right? You need to be using a guarantee for your service if you're first starting out. And the reason why is because if you have no proof that your service works, business owners will be very hesitant to work with you due to something called loss aversion bias. So obviously I went to Google and I searched up what is the loss aversion bias. So loss aversion is the tendency to avoid losses over achieving equivalent gains. This is a psychological principle. So you need to be making sure that you are reversing the risk as much as you can, especially if you don't have proof. So there's different types of guarantees as an example. So when most people think of guarantees, they automatically think of money back guarantees. If this doesn't work, we will refund you in full. But there are actually a bunch of different guarantees that you can offer. So the first is obviously money back guarantees. You will get refunded in full if you don't get results. The second one is work for free guarantees, which is we will work for you for free until we get you a specific result. The third one are implicit guarantees, which is you pay as you get results. And the fourth type of guarantee are performance guarantees. So you only pay after you get results. So the larger the guarantee, the more compelling your offer will be. And pretty obvious, right? If you're offering refund back guarantees, no questions asked, obviously that's just way more compelling than not offering a guarantee at all. However, understand that when using guarantees, you always run the risk of signing unqualified and poor quality clients, because you will find people who simply want to work with you just to get a refund. And those are bad types of clients. You do not want to be selling or working with those type of people. So if you're using a guarantee, you need to be filtering and only working with the most qualified clients who have the highest likelihood of achieving the result and the outcome that you are selling. So putting it all together based on everything that we talked about in this video. So kind of use this offer template as you are building out your offer, whether that be for yourself, for your own product, for your own service, or whether that be for clients. Say something like, we help target clients do result that you will get them within timeline by using unique mechanism or risk reversal. So based on the example from today's video, you can say something like, we help marketing agencies generate 5 sales calls every month by leveraging our outbound prospecting funnel, and we only get paid once we get you results. So obviously for the who, we're calling out marketing agencies who it is exactly that we are helping. The blue is the result, the outcome that you're selling. The red is the timeline. The orange is our unique mechanism. And the purple is our risk reversal and guarantee. So everything that we talked about in today's video, this is how you put it together. Now you might be asking, okay, all of this sounds good for my own offer. How about other people's offer? How about if I was a lead generation agency and I'm working with another type of service provider or a business that doesn't sell lead generation? What does an offer look like for that? Well, I got you. Because if we scroll down and let's look at an example, right? So I have another example of a lead generation agency for yourself. We make it unreasonable for software development agencies to not sign 3 to 5 projects in the next 89 days without relying on word of mouth by leveraging our outbound prospecting framework, and we only get paid on results. So this is another example that you could think of if you're selling to a different niche. And again, obviously, as a word of caution, don't copy this word for word because it's not going to work. You need to paraphrase this and add in your own things and do research, because obviously as I was putting together this video, I wrote this out in a way where it's easy to explain. You have to fact check this and make sure the numbers, the results, and the outcomes, you can comfortably provide that and it's realistic for your industry. Another example is, let's say your clients or you have a web design agency or your client is a web design agency. You could say, we help coaches increase total sales conversions within 26 days without relying on complex funnels or content by leveraging our converting LP framework, or you don't pay. So you see how you're doing research into the ultimate outcome and you're talking about that inside of your offer. Or how about if your client is a Facebook ads agency, you're working with a SMMA who sells ads to e-commerce brands. You could say, we help apparel brands add 15% in additional sales within 27 days without relying on influencers and UCG by leveraging our retargeting funnel strategy, or you don't pay. So these are all examples of offers. Hopefully you have a better understanding, and hopefully now by the end of this video, you are confident in crafting your own offer.